2 guest speakers today, and then we're also going to have a workshop that's presented by the Youth Business Exchange. So again, hopefully y'all will, learn a few tricks of the trades and good information on, really what starting a business looks like. Okay. So I'm going to have our Jack and Jill youth just introduce themselves. Okay, if y'all could say your name and the year that you are in high school. Okay.
I'm Brandon. I'm my freshman.
Your first and last name.
Brandon Bond.
I'm Michael Banks and I'm in 9th grade.
Okay.
I'm Jalen Bain and I'm a senior.
I'm Aaliyah Griffin, I'm a junior.
I'm Chad Sutton, I'm a sophomore.
All right. All right, well, great. Again, good morning, everyone. So I'm going to welcome Jana Dyer here. She is going to, present her business that she began this year. And, please feel free to ask her any questions that you have, okay?
Hello everyone. Alright, so like Trina said, I just started my business earlier this year. I just launched it officially a couple months ago. The name of my business is Eclectic Branding and is a digital creative agency. So some of the services that we offer are brand identity, which includes creating logos, business cards, and brochures. We also do website design, such as creating blogs, general business websites, and like online stores. And we also create social media graphic designs, such as banners and headers. So we are currently working on a special project on creating online courses that teaches young entrepreneurs or new entrepreneurs on how to start a business. So in the course, you learn things such as creating a business plan, the importance of developing a steady process flow, and different type of reports and analysis. So kind of like everything you need to know to start a business. So one way that we kind of give back to the community is by offering free consultation services to people who are interested in entrepreneurship but don't really know where to start. They kind of have an idea, but they don't really know how to formulate it into like a business. So what we do is we kind of sit with our clients and kind of talk to them about whatever their passion is and whatever their skills are. And we kind of combine their passions and their skills and we create a business idea out of it and kind of provide them with like a guideline on how to get started. So some background on how I got started. I pretty much gave myself the self-assessment. I figured out what my passion was, and my passion is actually helping others. And I kind of loved learning about other people's passions and kind of helping them pursue their passion. And I've always been into web design, so I've had several other websites before, such as online stores, online jewelry store. I also had a fashion blog, so I pretty much combined my passion and my skills and built a business around it. I will say the first steps that I took to getting started was, of course, I started by creating my business plan. And in the business plans, it pretty much entails everything about your business, far as what type of services you're going to offer, how much funding you're going to need to start your business. So your business plan kind of covers all those important details. So after I created my business plan and determined my funding, I actually created a small team. So there are 4 other people that work with me. I have my administrative assistant. She pretty much handles help me with all the day-to-day tasks, such as responding to email, general business calls. I also have a marketing director. She handles all of our marketing material and trying to find other events that we could participate in to get the name out. And I also have a graphic designer who handles all of our graphic design work. And I have a financial officer who takes over all of the accounting, finances, and everything in that category. And I myself, I do all of the web design for now. So I will say one important thing about starting this business is really understanding the different type of business structures, because that's very important when starting your business. You want to understand so you can be protected in like a legal sense. And also, if you're dealing with clients and contracts, I will recommend getting some type of legal service. You don't actually have to go out and pay for a personal lawyer, because they are different online legal services that you can have. And and they help you come up with like your contracts. You do have access to lawyers, so that's also good because you always want to make sure you're protected. And that's pretty much it. I would say entrepreneurship is not an easy road, but it's definitely accomplishable. You know, I would definitely encourage people to find whatever they're passionate about and think about how you can turn your passion into a business or whatever your greatest strengths are and how to turn it to a business. Just stay self-motivated and self-disciplined, and it's definitely realistic and accomplishable.
Thank you, Jada.
No problem.
So what questions do you have for Jada? I have a question for you.
Okay.
How did you get started? How did you get into web design?
I've just always just been interested in it ever since I was like, I would say about 16, 17. That's when I started my own online jewelry store. So I created like these little bracelets, and then I made a website to sell them. And then I've always kind of been into fashion too, so that's where I came up with my fashion blog, and I kind of did that throughout college. My freshman and sophomore year in college, I kind of ran like a fashion blog, me and my friends.
Okay.
So I've always been into creating websites as well as graphic design. I always love creating like different types of like graphic designs and cover art and things like that. So I kind of just more so took it more serious this time because I feel like my other businesses, they weren't as successful as they could have been. But I feel like that was because of me. I wasn't self-disciplined. I wasn't motivated enough to keep up with it. So I told myself this round when I started my digital creative agency, I was going to be 100% committed to it.
Great. Do you teach yourself web design?
Yeah. Yes.
How much does the services you provide normally cost?
Well, they have different plans. I think the one that I have now is like $45 a month. You know, and that comes with, like I said, they give you a free consultation with a lawyer. They kind of help you create like a template for like type of contracts. But then you can pay more for, I guess, more of a personal relationship with the lawyer.
I meant like with your business, how much does it cost when you do your stuff?
Oh, like my services? Well, it depends. You know, I try to meet my clients' needs in a way. So I don't necessarily have one set price. We kind of determine that as we talk with our clients as far as like the web design. We kind of figure out what our client budget is because we want to help new entrepreneurs who may not have like a lot of money, so we kind of work something out personally with our clients. Any more questions? Is anybody here interested in entrepreneurship? I know you have your own business, or is anyone else? Okay. Do you have like a business idea already, or you just?
Not really. I know that I'm passionate, like you said, helping people, and I'm really interested in like the mental health psychology realm. And I know I want to start a blog,
Okay.
like basically like spreading out positivity and stuff. But I don't really know like what business to form. But I'm interested in it.
Okay. I would just say just identify, like you said, all your strengths and your passions, and I feel like a blog is a good way to start out with the business because you can pretty much blog about whatever you want. Because you said mental health, so you can make blogs, talk about different mental health topics, and kind of go from there.
Any other questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Jada. Appreciate it. So next, I'd like to introduce our very own Preston Pierce to come up. And she's going to share a little bit more about her business as well. It's exciting to have one of our very own Jack and Jill senior teams here to, let us all know about her own business and how she got started. And Preston is set up in the back, so make sure that you try some of her products as well.
Okay, so hello, as you know, my name is Preston Pierce, and I own a small business. It's called Naturally Beautiful. So Naturally Beautiful is an all-natural body care line. It contains 5 products: shea butter, body oil, body wash, bath fizz, and lip balm. I started Naturally Beautiful about 3 years ago. I really started it because I had really bad eczema when I was growing up, and I wanted to figure out a way how to help with that. But I ended up growing out of it, but I still wanted to help people who had that same condition as me. As well as eczema, I started because of my grandfather. My grandfather had multiple myeloma cancer, and 3 times a week he would go to chemo and get IVs in his hand, and 3 times a week would being stuck with these needles. His hand was always dry and bumpy, and it wasn't healthy. So I wanted to make it for his skin to be hydrated and healthy, and just to say, okay. But unfortunately, he passed in December 2014, so he never got to try it. But Naturally Beautiful isn't just for dry skin or eczema. It can use for anything. It can use for your hair, for your anything you want. So, thank you. Any questions?
No questions for Preston? What are some of the main ingredients? Can you share what's some of the main ingredients?
Shea butter, cocoa butter, coconut oil, essential oils. I do use citric acid for the bath fizz, and just like that.
And you've participated in the Youth Entrepreneurship Fair before,
Yes.
right? I forget what,
Mhm.
what the name of it is. But
The Youth Business Exchange.
thank you. Yeah, so okay, so Youth Business Exchange. And so you've sold your product to, folks that have come up. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Preston. All right. And at this point, I would like to introduce Carolyn Phillips. He is with the Youth Business Exchange. And for those of you that aren't at a table, you might want to sit at a table because we do have some handouts. So you might want to sit at a table now that we have a little bit more space. Karen is going to walk y'all through what entrepreneurship looks like, give you a little bit more of the ins and outs, and I hope that you all enjoy this workshop.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How y'all doing? It's afternoon yet? That's still morning.
It's still morning.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So we have some some workbooks that we're gonna use as we go along with our presentation. I'll pass those around. I understand that some of you all have some business ideas already. Who already has a business they have that I guess an idea about they want to get started? Yourself? Anyone else?
So everyone was supposed to come with a business idea. I hope it's more of y'all besides Chandler. Who else thought of a business idea?
Well, what's your idea?
Make like bracelets.
Bracelets?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so to get started, when you think about the word entrepreneurship, what comes to mind?
Starting your own business.
Starting your own business? Okay, what else? Anything else? Okay, who do you see as an entrepreneur? Like, give me a name. Anybody's name that you can think of. You can't think of any entrepreneurs? Jay-Z? Do you think he's an entrepreneur? Yes? And I need some
Come on,
interaction.
y'all. Come on, y'all. Wake
So,
up.
Let's wake up. Let's wake up. Jay-Z, right? You think of Jay-Z as an entrepreneur, as well as anybody here watch Shark Tank?
Oh, I was sometimes.
Sometimes. All right. Now, who are the people on there that you can think of? There's one person in particular that pretty much has like a hip hop background. What's his name? His name is Damon John, right? Damon John, just to give you some feedback on him, or just kind of veering off the off the thing. All right, let's give you some background on Damon John. First, let me tell you about myself. My name is Carolyn Phillips. I'm part of the Youth Business Exchange. Myself and one of my partners, CJ Walker. A couple of years ago, we got together. We started the the Richmond Children's Business Fair, right? It's pretty much a platform where we allow young entrepreneurs to come out and showcase their businesses, get their feet wet, learn more about entrepreneurship. Myself, when I got started years ago, fresh out of college, you know, I see you got a Howard shirt on. I'm not gonna hold that against you. Right? I went to Morgan State, right? And when I came out of college, I had the whole mindset of not wanting to work for someone else. Right? I was an accounting major. Got a few of my friends. We said, you know what? We're gonna go out. We're gonna start a business. At the time, didn't really have an idea, you know, how to go about doing it. But we were into books and reading, so we wanted to open up a bookstore, right? So we found a place in Baltimore, you know, a storefront, and didn't write a business plan. We just pretty much said, open the store, secure the building, buy the books, and open up. And needless to say, it didn't work out. So we didn't plan it properly. We just pretty much made it up as we went along. And it's very important in entrepreneurship for you to have a plan. And for you to organize and write down your plan, that way you have like a roadmap to follow. Because other than that, you just kind of, you're wasting resources, and you just, you know, pretty much, you know, making up as you're going along, and that's not good. So that's why today we're going to help you with our workshop, is to kind of walk you through the process of thinking of an idea and how you can make that idea into a business. Now to go back to Dame and John, most entrepreneurs, they try to solve a problem. Like Preston said earlier, the issue she was trying to resolve was that, you know, she had some kind of skin issues, right? So she wanted to find a solution to try to fix the eczema that she had with her skin, and now she has a full line of products that not only she can help herself, but they'll also help others, right? So in the sense, Damon John, you see him on television now, but when he was a teenager, back in the 90s, there was a particular type of hat that was popular. He lived in Queens. It was a hat pretty much made like it was like a sleeve, a shirt sleeve. Like say you got like the two, this is pretty much the shirt sleeve here, right? Has open at the bottom, and there'd be another piece of fabric tied across the top, and it was made into a knot. And you know, the hat was pretty much shaped like this. The knot here, and it kind of flared up at the top. And that was pretty popular. And he couldn't find that hat anywhere. He went throughout his neighborhood, you know, he saw the hat on television, but he didn't know where to buy the hat. So he searched and searched, and he had to go all the way to Manhattan in Harlem to find the hat. So he finally found the hat, he purchased one. He showed it to his mother. His mother said, I can make that for you, right? So he ended up buying some fabric and making the hat. So as he was walking through the neighborhood with the hat, people said, oh, where'd you get the hat from? Oh, I had to go all the way up to Harlem to get it. So he said, you know what? The problem is that people in my neighborhood can't get this hat. So what he did was, with the help of his mother, he started making the hat and selling it in his neighborhood. And the first time he did, he probably had like 100 hats. He sold out within an hour. So from there, from selling hats, then he got the idea, well, maybe I can start making some clothes. So then he started making clothes. And then from there, it just kind of evolved and evolved to whereas he had one of the top selling clothing lines in the 90s. It was FUBU, For Us, By Us. I know you've probably seen it now, because like you see now a lot of people trying to wear clothes from the 90s. But from that idea, it sprung into something very huge and large, right? Another entrepreneur that I want to highlight, anyone know Nipsey Hussle? The marathon continues, right? He had a clothing store in California. Are y'all familiar with this story about the store? All right, okay. You had Nipsey Hussle, and he connected with another young man. I'm gonna write this name down. I want y'all to write it down too. Idris Sandu. When you go home, look him up. You can write it down anywhere on the papers. All right? Idris Sandu. This man, at the age of 13, was working for Google. He was helping Google program different software and create different projects. He's worked for Google, Twitter, Uber, different places, right? So he connected with Nipsey. And the problem that Nipsey realized when he opened his store was, like, in this day and time, people aren't shopping in stores like they used to. We see across the country, a lot of big retailers are shutting down, right? So he said, okay, I'm opening up this store. What can I do to help motivate people to come to my store and shop, right? So he connected with Idris, and they created like an app, right? Where on your phone, you would download this app, and you would have to go into the store to be able to get certain material, like certain exclusive songs, exclusive videos, and stuff like that. When you go in the store, have your phone, you'll scan like a barcode, and you'll get like an unreleased song from Nipsey Hussle. Or you'll get an unreleased video with some interviews or something like that. So with that, people, and then once you left the store, it no longer worked. So as long as you was in the store, you had access to extra material that you couldn't get outside the store. So naturally, what would happen? People had to go to the store. And it's research shows that the longer you hang out in a store, the more likely you're going to shop, and the more you're going to spend. And that's how the store became popular, right? So that particular instance, the issue was people aren't shopping in retail. How can I solve that problem? And they found a solution to that, right? So what we want to do today, again, is kind of talk about entrepreneurship. And this packet has like a lot of information in it, but we're not going to touch on everything. We're going to touch on certain things, right? I know I kind of jumped ahead a little bit from my presentation, but let's start. Okay, take a few minutes. On the first page, it has the two questions. What is an entrepreneur? And what characteristics come to mind when you think about entrepreneurship? Take a few minutes, maybe about 5 minutes or so, and write down your thoughts, and we kind of go over that. All right? Now, passing out some tickets because we have a few giveaways. I'm going to do it at the end. so let's take a look at what you all wrote down so far. So I know we kind of covered it before, but what would you say the definition of an entrepreneur is? I know I rambled a little bit earlier. Yes, ma'am.
An entrepreneur is someone that has a vision or dream that involves going into business for themselves.
Say it again.
Entrepreneur is someone that has a vision or dream that involves going into business for themselves.
A vision, a dream, and goes into business for themselves. Anyone want to add anything on to this? Does that sound right? That sound good? Anyone in agreement? Everybody stand up for a second.
Y'all need to wake up.
Everybody stand up for a second. All right. I want y'all to clap your hands. All right. Stomp your feet. Stomp your feet. Clap your hands again. All right. Stomp your feet. Y'all up? We up? All right. Cool. I can sit down. All right. Cool. All right. So, what are the characteristics of an entrepreneur?
Self-dependent.
Say it again.
Self-dependent.
Self-dependent. That's good. What else we got?
Dedication.
Dedication. All right, what else?
Passion.
Passion, definitely.
Selfless.
Say again.
Selfless.
Selfless. That sounds good. What else we got? Another one?
Willing to work.
Huh?
Willing to work.
Willing to work. Okay.
Confident.
Confident. That sounds good.
And understanding that failing doesn't mean you won't succeed.
Failing does not mean failure. Equals success. I'm gonna put down failure equals success. All right. Now elaborate on that a little bit more for me.
Because failing is a learning lesson.
Uh-huh.
Just normal being a human, you have to fail to learn. So failing in your business, that's a way that you can improve and grow on your ideas and vision.
That's absolutely correct. Right? Do y'all understand the concept of failure equaling success? Y'all know what that means? Think about this. A lot of times when I tell people to say, talking about failure equals success, I always use the analogy of a baby, right? Think about when you were, how many times did you fall, right, trying to learn how to walk, right? Now, as your parents as well, they saw you trying to walk and you fell, they said, get back up and try again, right? You fall again. Get back up and try again. And you kept getting up until you mastered the method of walking, right? Imagine if you stopped trying, right? Now, what's the age range of you all here? How many 15-year-olds we got? 15? Anybody under 15? How old? 14? 14? All right. So imagine as a baby, right, trying to walk, and you finally say, you know what, I give up. I'm not going to try no more. You'd be 14 or 15 years old, still crawling around on the floor, right? Looking crazy, right? So you have to have the same mindset in business. There's going to be times when you fail, right? The average entrepreneur fails at least 3 or 4 times before they find that right niche that they succeed in, right? So you can't be afraid to make mistakes, because that's how you learn. And that goes beyond entrepreneurship and business. That's a life lesson within itself, right? that don't mean to go in school and start failing your classes, right? But even though you fail your class, you know what, this is what I did wrong. I didn't study enough, I didn't pay attention to the teacher, so the next time I go at it, I'm gonna do a little bit better, right? So, that's a good concept right here. Anything else? Which is a key to our entrepreneurship. Yes, ma'am.
Self-discipline.
Self-discipline. And it's critical. Now, do you think it's easier to work for yourself or to work for somebody else? You say it's easier to work for yourself?
Maybe because you're more control.
Uh-huh. What else? Okay, how many people here say it's easier to work for yourself than to work for somebody else? All right, raise your hands high so I can see. You got 1, 2, 3, right? Say that it's easier to work for yourself. All right, now, I guess the rest of y'all say it's easier to work for somebody else. It's easier. Show of hands. Right? Okay. Now, you said self-discipline.
Yes.
Right? You're an entrepreneur now.
Yes.
So tell me, is it easier? Did you ever have a job for someone else?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, which is easier?
Working for someone else.
And why do you say that?
Because when you're working for someone else, you kind of already have that structure you go by. You know, you have a certain amount of hours you're supposed to work. You kind of already have what you're supposed to do at work. When you're working for yourself, you have to really be self-disciplined to put in work, because it's so easily to get distracted with just like other things. So.
Yeah. Because think about it. Let's say if I was working, for another business, and somebody else was the owner, I come in at 8 o'clock. I leave at 5 o'clock. Once I leave at 5 o'clock, I'm no longer thinking about the business. I'm out the door. I'm out doing whatever else. But the owner of the business, that is theirs. It's their baby. And that business is on their mind 24/7, right? Especially when you're starting out, you're doing everything, right? Now, how long have you had your business?
I started working on it almost about 7 months ago, and I just launched it like a couple months ago.
Now, did you have a team when you got started?
Not when I first got started initially, no.
No? So, I know you listed, or you have the financial person. What else? You have the graphic designer.
Yeah, and someone to help me with my day-to-day tasks, like
administrative
assistant.
Right? So you have about 3 or 4 different people that help you now.
Yeah.
Right? But starting off,
I didn't have
those 4 or 5 people was
all me.
you. Right?
Yeah.
And that's the case. When you're an entrepreneur, and at least, again, when you first start out, you take on every role within the business. Because a lot of times, you may not necessarily have the financing to bring on partners, right? Because, of course, when you bring people on, you have to pay them, right? You may start off, you're not going to have that money, right? So you got to take on all those roles, and then as you grow, you could bring people on. They can help lighten that load. But even so, again, it's still on your mind 24/7. Because again, it all falls back on you, right? What else? Anything else you want to add to this list before we move on? No? Okay. Well, I think this is a good list. And if you miss some of these, I think you all should write some of those down. Let me see what else. You're passionate. I think everything is pretty much here that we can cover. All right. This is a very good list. All right. So.
Yeah, I think focus too. You may have mentioned that, but focus.
Focus, yes.
You have to set your sight on a goal and be able to focus well on that goal.
Right. Right. And in today's society, it's so easy to get unfocused. And there's so much going on around you.
Yeah.
One of the things I find I struggle with, I guess, is focus, because you could waste time doing, doing things that aren't important to your business. I'm sure you all get caught up in it too, just kind of scrolling through social media, and I'll catch myself like 10 minutes in, I'm like, what am I doing? I don't care what anybody else is doing. I need to be doing stuff for myself. Liking pictures and all kind of stuff, time management should be on here.
And a big one too.
With time management?
That and being financially literate.
Financially literate. Financial literacy. Right? Knowing how to manage your money. It makes no sense if you go out and run your business and you make $300, but then you go and spend that $300 on the next pair of Jordans, but yet you don't have materials to put back into your business again. So you always got to know how to balance your money. And that's like a whole nother workshop within itself. You know, financial literacy. All right, so what we want to do now, you know, we're going to go touch back on again. I know you're all supposed to come in with some business ideas. So take a moment. I think we're on page, do we have the idea page on here? We can just, I guess we'll do it on page 8, right? If you don't already have a business idea, think of one. Think of something that you like, something that you're into, and try to make a business around it, right? So take a few minutes, we're on page 8, on the business plan, the business game plan, right? And just think about 5 minutes and think about a business that you would want to start.
And
Right.
Kerwin, can we go through each
We'll go individually.
team? Okay, good.
Okay, cool. Just take 5 minutes, think about it, what you want to start, and why you want to start it. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll skip that. Choosing idea. Okay, now go to page 3. Go to page 3. There's a better outline for that. Choosing your business idea, the money-making list, where it has like what your hobbies, your favorite games, your favorite classes, stuff like that. Now, that'll help you come up with ideas for your business. Like, give you an example. Like myself, you know, several years ago, like myself, I grew up again in the 90s. I was a hip hop head, right? You know, when you watch those old school documentaries and you see the guys out there with the baggy pants, Timberlands, hoodies, backpack, that was me back in 95, right? Going to all the little underground hip hop venues, stuff like that. So as I got older, and I like any conversation about music and hip hop, I'm in it. You may have some people that's into sports. I'm into music and hip hop. So several years ago, I started doing workshops around the city on hip hop history. Like I spoke at this library here, I spoke throughout in Henrico, city of Richmond, and that was my business, going around speaking about hip hop history. So think about something that I did that because that's what I liked, that's what I was into. Like, it was an easy conversation for me, right? So think about things that you're into and put together an idea for your business. for 2 minutes and we'll get started.
What do you mean by favorite games?
Like some people into video games, some people, they go outside and play tag or, different things like that, so. Another minute and we get started. We're going to get started. We'll start here in the front. And what's your name again? Brendan. All right. Okay, so what you have down as far as your hobbies, your favorite games and favorite classes.
So for my favorite hobbies, I have video games, coding, and volleyball.
Okay.
And then my favorite video games are Liability, Siege, History, Conquer Point. And my favorite class of science studies and APs.
Okay. So based on, I guess, what you have written down, what do you think, what kind of business would you be interested in starting?
Speak up so we can hear you back here.
Probably something involving coding or science.
Okay. Okay. All right. So maybe like an app or something like that? Okay. So what kind of app would you want to develop?
Maybe an app to teach people how to code so they can start their own business or get a job into the coding field.
Okay. Gonna write that down. Write that idea down that you have. Okay. And your name?
Michael.
Michael? Okay. Now tell me what you have down.
My favorite hobbies are, I enjoy making jewelry, volleyball, drawing, and cooking.
Okay.
And some of my favorite classes are English and science.
Okay. Okay. All right. So basically, you sound like you're very creative with the jewelry and cooking and stuff like that. So what would you want to, what kind of business would you want to start?
I was thinking of like selling jewelry, necklaces, and bracelets and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. All right. So write that down as your business idea. All right. Your name again?
Jalen.
Jalen? Okay, cool. What ideas do you have written down?
Like hobbies were football, band, listening to music, games, Madden, 2K, then for favorite classes, math and science.
Math and science, okay. Now, did you have a business idea based around what you have written down?
I was going to have like a tutoring service.
Tutoring?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Cool, so let's write that down as your idea. I mean, we'll work off of that. Ma'am, your name?
I'm Aaliyah.
Aaliyah, okay.
So my hobbies are, it might not make sense, but these are my hobbies: eating and shopping. And my favorite games is Uno.
Okay.
My favorite classes are English and history. And I know how to run track and sing.
Okay, okay. Now, do you have an idea based around what you have written down or something totally separate?
I haven't thought about it. No.
Have you ever considered like being a food critic? You said what you do like to eat.
Yeah, because I am picky, so maybe.
Yeah? Okay. So let's work on the food critic idea.
Okay.
All right, so let's write that down. Yes, ma'am.
Cameron and favorite hobbies are helping others, volunteering,
Can you speak up so we can hear you in the back?
helping others, volunteering, community service, and modeling. And
Any business ideas?
You said that you like helping people in the community. Maybe a nonprofit in helping is it like all people? Is there a certain group of people that you like to?
Younger kids.
Okay. Helping young kids. So, what issues do you think our young kids face right now that need to be resolved?
Like mental health.
Mental health, okay. So maybe like a nonprofit that addresses like mental health issues, right? That sounds good?
Yes.
Okay, let's write that down. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Your name again?
My name's Jordan. And
Jordan.
I like to draw/do art, cheerleading, hanging with friends, and shopping.
Okay. Okay. What's that? Favorite classes?
History, Spanish, and art.
Okay. Now, any ideas based around what you have written down? No? Okay, so you have art,
I see a lot of drama and creation.
maybe graphic design.
Possibly.
You good with computers? No? Okay.
But drawing.
Drawing.
Yeah.
You should still be a graphic designer. So let's work with that for right now. Let's hypothetically, let's write graphic designer down. All right?
I'm Chaz, and I like to play soccer.
Okay.
And my favorite video games are like NBA 2K. My favorite classes are history, biology, and ceramics. And
Okay.
I know how to like make stuff on the ceramic wheel.
Okay.
And last year my teacher told me I could like maybe continue it and make stuff and sell it. So that was my idea.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Like making like ceramic, like I guess I keep thinking statues and stuff like that, but
Yeah, like bowls, plates,
Yeah.
vases, stuff like that.
nice, nice. Okay, cool.
I'm
And then you got like a whole paragraph
Yeah, I'm
written
not
down
gonna
there.
read all of that. I'm Chandler. My favorite hobbies are reading self-help and psychology books, spreading positivity on social media, talking about mental health, journaling, helping others, and volleyball.
Okay.
My favorite classes, I don't take psychology yet, but I know I'm gonna like that. Chorus, photography. I know how to bring others up and sing. I kind of already have an idea of what I want to do.
Right.
I originally came up with this idea of the bright side, and it was a blog to offer support and be a light for those who don't have that light in their life.
Okay.
And also helping kids of color and their families understand the importance of therapy and counseling.
Okay.
So that's basically.
Okay. Cool. So like a counseling service and the blog, which you mentioned earlier. Good deal. Right. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Katie.
Okay.
My favorite hobbies are dancing, listening to music, and then filming. My favorite class is English.
Okay. Nice. So any ideas based around what you have written down?
I think making playlists for people or filming like performances that they have or anything that they're doing.
Nice, nice. Okay. So photography and videography, filming. Let's work with that idea. All right. All right. So now that you all have your ideas, let's think about who your ideal customer would be. Like who would you be serving? Right. Take a minute or so and write that down. Then we have on page 5, building a customer profile. Right, think about who your 3 most ideal customers, the customer types, right? Who are they, and why you're servicing them, and let's work with that. I'll give you a couple minutes. Let me see when you get those 3 different types of customer profiles, then we'll move on to the next exercise. y'all got your 3 different type of customers? Alright. Alright. So flip the page over. And we're gonna talk about advertising your business. Now look at the 3 customer profiles that you wrote down, and how would you reach those people? Like how would you advertise your business to reach that particular customer profile type? Let's write that out. And then we'll discuss that. Give you a couple minutes on that, and we'll discuss it. All right, so while y'all writing, we're gonna do our first giveaway today. We have some t-shirts. We have one like what CJ has on right now. The front says, you know, my vision is bigger than your sight. Right? A lot of times, as an entrepreneur, you have a certain vision for yourself, and you'll have what y'all call haters around you that's gonna try to diminish that vision, that they can't see what you see, right? You can't let those individuals stop you from pursuing your goals, right? Because what you see within yourself, what you have for yourself, is your vision, not theirs, right? So let CJ pick the first one.
Okay. Yep, so take a number, last 3 digits, 0, 1, 3.
013. Who got that?
They pull tickets? They got a pull. Okay.
Oh, it might have been her.
She has it?
Who is that, Preston?
Yeah, Preston.
Oh.
We'll move on to the next one.
Yes.
Is she still here or she left?
She left, she had to leave.
0, 0, 8.
008. That's you?
All right.
Alright, cool. Alright, so we'll give you a choice. We actually have the shirt that CJ has on in blue and yellow. Then we also have a couple t-shirts. Anybody here watch the TV show The Prophet?
Oh, my dad watched that all the time.
Yeah? Well, the gentleman who has the show, he sent us a couple shirts from his clothing line. This one says, it has like a lot of phrases he used on the show. Trust the process. And the second one has, this one says, trust the process, trust the people, and trust the product. Right? So which one do you want? You want one of these shirts, or would you like one of the ones like CJ has on?
I like the black one.
This one? Okay, cool. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Alright, so where we at? You got it? Okay. Alright, so let's talk about your customer profile and how you plan on advertising. And you're starting the back this time. Alright.
So people who want playlists or events or anything or just
Alright, so tell me your business again.
I'm making playlists for people or just filming.
Photography, okay.
So yeah, people who want playlists and I could advertise that on social media. And I can also do that for people who like want to film like YouTube videos or something. I could film for them and
Okay.
advertise that on social media as well.
Cool. And I'll tell you, that's a very good business to be in, you know, because I do like editing and you probably attest to this as well. Doing like graphics and editing, it's time consuming. And people like doing it themselves. I hate doing it, but it has to be done. So, all right, cool. How about you?
Me, I was thinking of like advertising, like SAT, ACT helps because like nowadays it looks like college admissions getting harder and harder. Everyone wants better test scores. So by advertising that we can help you get a better test score, you can get some business.
And what methods would you use to advertise?
Like social media, maybe some TV ads, stuff like that.
Okay.
help when I because mine was, she said food critic, and I
Food critic.
yeah, and I just didn't don't know how to do that.
No. Do you watch food critics now? Do you watch like other people critique food?
No,
No?
I watch on YouTube people eating other food.
And that's how you start. That's how you start. You know, there's a book out. Anybody heard of Gary Vaynerchuk? Gary V? He has a book called Crushing It, where he speaks about how you can, he's about entrepreneurship and how you use social media to help boost your products online. And you can look at YouTube as being like a television network, like ABC, CBS, and you can start your own YouTube channel, right? You sitting eating food and talking about it.
No.
You know,
Yeah.
just like everybody else, and then the more consistent the more consistent you are with it, it may grow into something bigger, right? You become, people see you as a food expert. And then maybe they may invite you to come to their food festival to come and talk about their food. You know, it all started from you sitting there. You don't need a whole lot of equipment. You need a cell phone. See, I got my phone back there with a tripod. Sit there. So I got the new Popeye's chicken sandwich. Let me taste it. You know, and you give your opinion on it, or whatever else. And then you go from there. Then you may connect with certain restaurants. Say, look, I have a YouTube channel where I speak about, you know, food. You have a new restaurant you opened up. Do you mind me coming in and talking about your dishes? It's going to help you because I'm promoting your product. It's going to help yourself because it's helping get out there as an expert, as a food expert. And that's a form of advertising. Yeah. You're welcome.
I didn't know what to say. Like you said, younger children, and then for advertising, like social media.
Uh-huh. Now, your product, your business was
It's non-profit.
nonprofit, helping
Mental health.
mental health.
Connected counselors at school.
Yeah, you connect with school counselors. And you let them know, say, look, this is the service in which I provide. You know, I can come and help within the school system. You can start from there. And there's plenty of independent.
Yeah, social services,
Yeah.
things like that. Other organizations as well that deal with kids, so probably like after school programs, recreational programs, things like that. So if you want to start there,
Yeah, I think it's a great need for that right now. And there's such a high demand that the school system can't handle it all themselves. So they kind of like, when they say outsource, they get other people to come in and help out within the school system. So there's a great demand for that. Yes, ma'am.
So I can't really say anything, but I said I'm willing to create reasons.
Okay. Because you draw, right? Okay. Yeah, social media is good to promote yourself. There's also a website called Fiverr, right? It's spelled.
Fiverr.
It's www.fiverr.com. And that's a website where they have, I guess, independent contractors. There's people who draw, who do graphic design. They promote themselves on this website. Let's say if I need someone to draw like a logo for me. I'll go to the website and I'll see all the different profiles. Like you can set up a profile on there. You give like samples of your work, and I can select you to do a job for me. And you can pretty much, you'll give me your rates and we'll negotiate from there. But this is like a good platform. There's others out there that you can use, but this is the one I'm familiar with. It's Fiverr. You can just pretty much go out there, build a profile. It's like you know how like a Facebook profile. You build a profile on I'm saying Facebook, that I'm dated. An Instagram page. You can create a page on Fiverr, and pretty much, promote yourself. And people can have you come in. Then you can kind of share what you do on the Instagram page and send people back to your Fiverr profile.
Oh, okay.
All right? Yes, sir.
I didn't have all 3 customer profiles, but like, I put somebody who like likes art, was a new homeowner, because normally when you buy a new home, you're gonna want like vases or plates or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I could put like an Instagram account, or I have a website already for like ceramics that our teacher had us do last year, so like I would add to that.
Okay. Nice. I guess like a niche you could put on, you could make custom designs, you know, based on how the room looks. I could make you know, ceramic or something for you to match the decor of that particular room.
I think you could do with other businesses as well, you know, when they start to decorate, you know, the office areas and things like that. You could use it for that too.
So for my first one, I had a family that's conflicted on whether they want to go to therapy. I said speaking at schools and advertising on social media and workplaces. And so the teenagers struggling with mental health during exam time. I said social media, speaking at schools and local libraries and restaurants, since that's what most study groups go to.
Right.
And for the third one, I said males struggling with mental health because there's an even larger stigma around that. And I said workplaces, social media, and gyms.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well thought out. Well, you already came in with an idea, so you already had some stuff put together. Good deal.
For my first one, I said like custom designs. So I can make like an Instagram, but I was also thinking like flyers and different pictures, like different custom and unique designs of my jewelry. And then I also thought of like making my jewelry more affordable for people who can't afford like nice, like expensive jewelry that still want something that's nice.
Right. Okay, cool. So again, Instagram, different social media platforms are very, very well. You know, as long as you have your separate website too to kind of promote your products. Good deal.
So I primarily thought of TV and social media. So,
Okay.
I know that a lot of kids like to watch TV because they're now in the mornings or afternoons. So if I were to target kids with TV, then I could get them to use my platform and get them to learn how to code. And then for older adults, I can put that on social media or YouTube. So if you were to click on an ad on YouTube, it would take you straight to the website.
Good deal. Right. And I'm reiterate again, the way the world is set up now, you know, with online, Instagram, and the different social media platforms, you have control over how you promote yourself. You know, think about all the different viral videos that are shared over and over again. You know, same way your business can be shared over and over again online, and you get a whole lot of views, and it's an excellent way to promote yourself. You also can pay for ads. Online is very inexpensive, so you really have the control within your, you know, at your fingertips to promote your business and to get started. You know, back in when I was your age, this didn't exist, right? The way social media and everything is, we didn't have all that. You know, we have flyers. You know, and you're able to reach much more. You can reach people around the world just by a couple of clicks of your fingertips on the phone. Right? I remember again in college, I graduated in '97, and when my IT professor was talking about the coming of the social media, we call it the information superhighway. We had no idea what he was talking about. He was saying you'd be able to share data through computers and all kinds. He's like, what are you talking about? Because we had no idea what was to come. We saw the Jetsons and stuff like that, but we didn't see it as being real. It was a cartoon, right? Where they show like flying cars and you know, you could teleconference people.
All the robots and stuff.
The robots and stuff like that, but that's pretty much the world that we live in now. That didn't exist 20 years ago. Right, so y'all have a great advantage now. How long do we have the room?
Yeah, we have the room till 12:15 if you want to go a little bit, you know, up to
12:15?
12 o'clock, 12:15.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. So now that you have an idea of, I guess, the customer that you want to reach and how you plan on reaching them, to start the business, you want to have what's called a business plan, right? And like I said earlier, the business plan is a roadmap that you would use to help you stay on track. You know, we spoke about focus and self-discipline earlier. If you have a plan written out, you know, on how you want to, or what your business is, who you're trying to reach, how you plan on reaching them, and stuff like that. Because there's been times where distractions come in, you always have a document to refer back to, say, nope, that's not on the plan, I'm not going to deal with that, right? So, let's start the business game plan. This is on page 8. Where you kind of define yourself. Give your business a name. Right? So don't put it with the company name. Right? Say who you are, where you want to be located, what you do, who your primary customers are. We're not going to deal with startup costs. What makes your business unique? How you plan to advertise, and what you would need to get started. Take a few minutes and discuss that.
Can you see that? Yes.
Oh, I had a question for I had a new idea for like another business, but I didn't know how to advertise it.
So you don't know how to advertise?
Yeah, because it's like a side hustle kind of thing. It's not like a whole business.
What is it?
Well, I was talking to my dad not so long ago about like vending machines,
Mm-hmm.
because that's like a popular thing in school. But I don't know how like you would advertise it.
A vending machine?
Yeah, like you buy a vending machine, you make money off it, you stock it, all that, right out the streets.
How would you advertise a vending machine? Now, what would you have in the vending machine?
Like snacks, like I don't know, chips, candy, stuff like that.
I think usually it's like maybe school systems if you're trying to advertise to schools, community centers.
But that's like a type of business where,
Yeah.
you really don't need any advertising for that because it's pretty much, it's there.
Yeah.
Unless you had like a niche,
Yeah, if you're trying to target a particular,
like let's say if you had like vegan food or vegan snacks or vegetarian snacks, you can say, okay, well, if you're looking for vegetarian or vegan snacks, this vending machine is located here. And someone would know, okay, I need to go to this particular spot to get that because it's hard my daughter's a vegan, and it's hard for her to find stuff around when she goes different places. So, yeah, but I think vending machine is,
It's just not there, so it's like.
that's a very excellent business idea.
and then you're able to put in more things too. But I think you just get the vending machines, but I think you could put, things that you want that
Yeah.
attracts other customers. By the way, make sure you have like healthy food, especially for diabetics.
You want to pick one more name while they're writing? The bag is right.
All right. Ticket number 007.
That's you.
All right.
Alright. So which one you want? You got the Trust the Process t-shirt, and we have like the white, the yellow and the blue like that.
The blue one.
A blue one? Okay, cool. Everybody finish all the questions? Yes, no? Maybe? No? All right, give you another minute. So after we finish this, just want to touch on, I guess, some business structures, steps to how you get your business license, and then also leave some time for question and answers at the end. So I know we kind of spoke about customers already, so we probably want to address that. But you also want to highlight what your company name would be. What makes your business unique, and what do you feel you need to get started? So let's start in the middle.
And if you don't have a name, it's okay.
Yeah. All right, let's start in the middle this time. What you got? So what's the name of your business?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Non-profit.
I'm gonna call back on you. I'm gonna come back to you. Yes, sir. What's the name of your business?
Sorting scores.
What's that?
Sorting scores.
Sorting scores? Okay. And what makes your business unique?
Like it'd be more of a non-profit than like actual.
Okay. All right, cool. And what do you think you need to get started with your business?
Get started. Mostly getting the word out and maybe some other people to help tutor.
Okay. Now, what kind of what kind of material would you need to I guess, do your training or to do the workshops?
Probably worksheets, workbooks, stuff like that.
Where you get the workbooks from?
Like online, Barnes and Nobles, because they have like workbooks, stuff like that.
Okay. All right, cool. That's kind of things you want to start thinking about. Okay, I'm gonna be tutoring. I need pens. I need pencils. I need calculators. I need all those those type of materials. Okay, where am I gonna get them from? Where am I getting them from for a good price? So that's part of the research that you have to do to kind of get your business off the ground. Right? Yes, ma'am.
So my company name would be Meatly. So
Neatly?
yeah.
Now, how you come up with that name?
Because my name is Aaliyah.
Uh-huh.
So Lee, and then I critique food, so meat is a food.
Okay, neatly. Okay. So, and what makes, I guess, your business unique?
Because I won't most people who critique food, they be angry about the food, but I'll say it in a nice way. I won't be cussing and all of that. So
Okay. So you're gonna go the Gordon Ramsay route?
yeah, I'll
Okay.
I'll let them know about what I'll be.
Don't be rude about it.
Yeah.
You tell me it's nasty, but you say it in a nice way. Okay, got you. All right, so what do you think you need right now to get your business started?
I'll need a camera, a phone, you said, and I need some subscribers since one of them YouTube. So I need to I guess put it on social media
Okay.
page so people can subscribe and yes.
Okay, cool. Anyone else want to share what they have written down so far?
Yeah, So I named it The Bright Side. I said it's a safe community to offer kindness, support, and counseling to those who are in need. I was thinking eventually that I would actually have something like downtown because I love that area.
Okay.
but for right now, it would just be like an online blog. Like you could reach out through messaging or phone calls. But we do the same thing. And customers, I was thinking like everyone, because everyone has mental health. But for what makes our business unique, I was kind of like, I didn't know what to say, because I know I need money eventually, like, because most of the online stuff costs money, and I know it's hard for some people who are afraid to tell their parents that they want to go to counseling, so they look for support online, but a lot of apps cost money to use, so I wanted to like change that somehow, but I know I'm going to need money eventually, so.
Right.
But you're gonna need money to
Yeah.
build that.
Right.
So maybe I guess, you know, if she builds the online stuff, you get like advertisers. Advertise on your page, on your page or on your profile. And they'll pay you to kind of put their ads on your website. And that's a good source of revenue. Anyone else wanna volunteer? Pick one more person. What you got?
So I think I'm going towards like naming it Beads and Bagels because in 4th grade we did something similar, like to starting a company, and I stopped sold jewelry also, so I named it Beads and Bagels.
Okay. That's nice. And what would make your jewelry unique? What would make your business unique?
Like custom sizes, cause like sometimes you want like people need smaller sizes or bigger sizes, you make that, and also like different like designs and patterns from other companies.
Right.
And then also make it more affordable for people.
Cool. That's nice. All right. And what do you need to start?
Like beads and elastic or like strings.
Okay. And where would you get that from?
I guess using your own money in the beginning,
Uh-huh.
so you get your own profit.
Okay. Cool. All right. So now you want to kind of go into, I guess, once you have your ideas, you have your business goals and your business plan written, now you're ready to kind of get into starting the business and more of the administrative side of the paperwork and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have CJ speak on that.
Alright, so, is anybody over the age of 18 here? Okay. So that means that if you guys do want to start a business, that means that you guys would have to get in touch with a parent or a guardian, or maybe you have a business partner that is over the age of 18, because by law, you cannot file a business license under the age of 18 or any document. So keep that in mind, write it in your notes, because that is very important. So as far as like the business structures, so business structures, we have sole proprietorship. Who knows what a sole proprietorship means?
One owner.
Yes, one owner. So usually when you start out, you automatically start out as a sole proprietor until you file your business license, and if you have more than one, it is called a general partnership. So that could be more than one business owner, so it could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 4. No matter the number, it could be a general partnership. Who has heard of an LLC? You ever seen like business names that it has like LLC at the end? That is called a limited liability company. So they have the benefits between a sole proprietorship and a corporation together, but it's easier for many of us to get and to obtain. So with a limited liability company, and it's also with tax purposes as well. So when you are a sole proprietor, and when you're 18 and you're starting to pay your taxes, you have to also pay for all the income. So when you become a limited liability company, you don't have to do that, as well as a partnership. And then we also have a C corporation, which is your basic INC. and an S corporation, and then you also have your nonprofit, which we were talking about earlier, which they don't have to pay taxes on your own, but it's an individual corporation where you're paying there. So generally, that's the difference between the few. But you have the information on the back here to go over that some more. And as far as like with getting your actual license here in the state, it depends on where you live. So how many people live in Richmond? Richmond City. Here I go. Yes. And Chesterfield? Chesterfield wins. Yep, so you guys would have to go to, for the city of Richmond, is City Hall, where you apply for your license. Chesterfield County, I guess they have like a courthouse area, Ironbridge. And Henrico, Perrin Road. Perrin Road at the courthouse, and that's where you go in. You have to pay for the trade name, which is about $10, and then you fill out your application for your license. So it may be some fees, but most of the time it's not. So we have information on that on the back as well. Anything else?
Federal ID number.
Federal ID number, yes. Thank you. So no matter what structure that you choose, you have to have a EIN, which is an identification number for the IRS. So basically you have a social security number, but if you're a business, you have an EIN. So in order for you to get one, you need to go to the IRS site, and I think it only takes about 10 minutes or so, and you could get an EIN number, and you use that information to apply for business credit, tax purposes. You use that number, so it's a very important number next to your SSN, of course.
And all the information's on the back. We have all the websites and links. You can find those resources online. Another good, another useful website we have on here is Virginia One Stop. And they have a link on it that kind of walk you through the whole process. They have like a checklist that'll guide you through all the steps you'll need to take to get your business registered in the state of Virginia. What else we got?
Yes, Virginia State Corporate Commission. So that if you are applying for your partnership, your limited liability, any corporation, nonprofit, you're going through the Virginia State Corporate Commission. Yes, for I can remember, if you are doing an LLC, it's about $75, and if you're doing a corporation, I think it is between $75 and $100. So yes, it does cost money to get the licenses that you need, but it's so worth it in the end.
So before you wrap up, any questions related to business, anything that we covered today? Alright. So before we end, let's see, now, every year we have a business fair. It's called the Richmond Children's Business Fair. And I'm gonna have CJ kind of talk about it. The next one we have is on Saturday, March 14th, 2020. And I think we still have spaces left?
Yes, we do. We
Okay.
probably have at least, I would say around 15.
15 spaces.
15.
Okay.
So yes, we started this back in 2018. We started with 43 youth ages 5 through 17, and this year we're slated to have close to 80. So what you do, if you want to just start out selling products and services, you guys can apply with us. On a day, we have all of the tables and people come out and they buy your products and services. So we have people selling jewelry, handcrafted arts and crafts and food. So it's really fun.
We have a chef, Chef Jaheen. He's 6 now, right?
Yeah, he's 6.
He's 6. And he, like every year, like we had it for the past 2 years, and he sold out of food each year. I know he sells like, he had like salmon plates, chicken.
Salmon salads, and what else?
I mean, it was some soul food.
Yeah, now his brother has started a lemonade business.
Right.
So now they're selling both things together.
So you have to get you a plate and you get you a drink at the end. So they both have the whole meal covered. Right. We had one young lady who came last year. She had like the cosmetics,
Yes.
and she made I think like $1,000 that day.
Wow. When is it again?
So
It's
that's
Saturday, March 14th.
March 14th?
At
And it's
the
going to be at the Dewey Law Center at Science Museum of Virginia.
Okay, at what time?
Tentative.
Okay.
So if you're interested in participating, I guess you'll just reach out to CJ, let her know before we leave today. Also, in part with the business fair, we're having a t-shirt design contest, where you can design the official t-shirt for the Richmond Children's Business Fair. So if you're interested in that, you reach out to us. Our Instagram is at YBE_VA. Our email address is youthbusinessexchange@gmail.com. So reach out to us if you're interested in, I guess, in participating in the business fair, or if you want to do the t-shirt design contest.
Yes. Now for the business fair, it is $25 per business, and you can have up to 3 youth entrepreneurs to work with.
Okay. You know, we covered everything, right?
Think so. And then I'll find out later.
Right.
Okay, well, thank you. We appreciate you.
Again, I hope you all got something out of it. Again, if you are interested in business, reach out to us. We're going to have, different resources online that can help you to see like different other entrepreneurs from the area that have been successful. You can learn from them, and that's pretty much it. All right. And thank you all for having us. All right.
Do y'all have any questions?
Oh, we got 2 more t-shirts to give away.
Oh yeah. 01.
All right. 010.
So which one do you want? You got the, this is gonna say trust the process. You got that one. Make sure you got it. Thank you.
All right, last one. 014.
014. Not here? Okay.
Last one. 005.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. And can we get a picture with y'all holding the t-shirts up?
Oh, yeah, we're gonna take pictures right out here.
Okay, cool.
Yep,
Cool.
yep, we're gonna take a picture and we sure will. And Kern, thank you so much. We appreciate you. This is from Jack and Jill. We really
I appreciate
appreciate
that.
y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right, so let's take a picture, y'all, right outside near the boat show. Make sure that you take your workshop materials.
Y'all can take the pins.
Jana, you want your pen? So you can take it.
But I'm also have our previous president, and y'all can do anything. So, yeah.